On this side of the Atlantic, we now have a date for President Trump's meeting with Kim Jong-un, as we expected we would, but the president tweeting out just a little while ago that it's going to be June 12th. The highly anticipated meeting, he said, between Kim Jong-un and myself will take place in Singapore on June 12th. It's a Tuesday. We will both try to make it a very special moment for world peace. Let's bring in Chief Content Officer Marty Schenker. Marty, this was to be anticipated after the scenes that unfolded at Andrews Air Force Base overnight.
Yeah, it's clearly something that Donald Trump was very anxious to get out. He's been teasing that the date and place had already been decided for days, but refused to say when they were. So in his well-followed Twitter account, he announced it will be in Singapore just a few minutes ago.
Now, Marty, this also comes on the heels of the president pulling out of the Iran deal and really, widespread reaction to that. A lot of tremors here in Washington, D.C. and elsewhere, and a lot of schisms, breaking with age-old allies. How does that colour this coming meeting with the North Korea leader?
Well, it certainly puts a lot of premium on a positive result out of that meeting. Obviously, the return of the 3 hostages from North Korea yesterday, along with this absolute scheduling of the meeting, it sets up high expectations for what comes out of this meeting with Kim on June 12th. It's high risk for Donald Trump in a certain way. He needs to get out of that meeting exactly what he has said his aim is, to denuclearize the peninsula. Mm-hmm. And in fact, that is something he has set up those high expectations himself by putting so much prestige, personal prestige, in making this happen.
Exactly, and obviously sort of blowing up all sorts of deals, pulling out, saying he's going to renegotiate them, and yet we haven't really seen any particular deal get renegotiated so far. Many of them perhaps in the process of being negotiated. Is this just going to be one more, or is this something that will get done quite quickly, Marty? It's not like there can be continued meetings with the North Korean leader, is there?
Well, it's a pretty interesting point, Bonnie, because the original deal that Obama struck on Iran took something like 10 years. The North Korea issue is similarly complicated. To allow for verification of any denuclearization program by North Korea is not something you can just write down on a piece of paper after a half an hour. So they may agree in principle, but it's the devil in the details, and that could take not just weeks, it could take months or even longer. So the key thing for him is to get Kim to agree to abandon all nuclear programs that could lead to a weapon, and to give up whatever he has that allows them to explode a nuclear bomb, which they've done a number of times.